Hello everyone and welcome to another video. So the topic I'm going to talk to you about today is probably going to be quite controversial because I know that coffee enemas are very popular in the health and healing community, but I just want to make it known up front that I'm not here to say that coffee enemas are terrible and that no one should do them and they don't have any benefits. I am simply here to share my experience because if I've learned anything on my healing journey, it's that just because one practice works for someone, it doesn't automatically mean that it's going to work for another person. So I just want to share the potential downsides of coffee enemas and why they may not be suitable for you at this time on your healing journey. So the enema has been used for centuries and its primary role was using plain water with perhaps the addition of herbs to cleanse the bowel and treat constipation and improve health and well-being in general. And coffee enemas came into use in the 1800s, although it was Dr. Max Gerson who really brought coffee enemas into the world in a major way in the 1930s. And he founded the Gerson therapy, which is a natural healing protocol for cancer and other diseases, and he uses coffee enemas in his protocols. People use them multiple times a day. So coffee enemas are thought to stimulate bile flow and the production of glutathione, which is a detoxifying antioxidant. So the coffee is absorbed into the hemorrhoidal vein and then taken up to the liver via the portal vein. The caffeine also causes the bile ducts to dilate so that more toxins can be excreted via the bile into the intestines for exit out of the body. And through this process, a large amount of toxins are dumped into the small intestine. Now this may sound like a positive thing, but if someone has an extremely high toxic load, this can be too overwhelming for the elimination organs to deal with. Now, as someone who has delved into different healing modalities for a long time, coffee enemas definitely spiked my interest and I was excited to try them, and I did so multiple times. And honestly, I did not have the best experience. Every time I did one, I ended up feeling anxious, jittery, shaky, and like my heart was going to beat out of my chest. It was as though I just drank a cup of coffee. I was always left feeling very depleted. And before anyone comes at me with ways that I might have done it wrong, I've been practicing enemas for over 10 years now, so I'm very well versed in how to do them correctly. And I even tried them using less coffee to see if that would help, but it never did. And I've connected with many people over my health and wellness journey who have also had very similar experiences. But why do some people experience these negative symptoms and some people don't? It does seem to come down to the strength of one's nervous system and adrenal glands. Yes, the caffeine goes to the liver, but it also goes straight to the bloodstream via the colon wall. So anyone who is highly sensitive to stimulants like caffeine, anyone who has weaker adrenal glands and a weaker nervous system may potentially react negative to a coffee enema. And I also picked up this piece of information from the medical medium. Now I know he's very controversial, people either love him or hate him, but this isn't about him, it's just about this piece of information that he shares, which really resonated with me and made sense. So it is known that once food material arrives in the stomach, it can be temporarily stored and broken down by the actions of stomach acids and enzymes. And this is so digestion can take place in a uniform and controlled manner so that nutrients and any potential poisons or toxins can be time released into the body in a way that it can appropriately cope with them. He speaks about the stomach, which acts like a buffer, and it absolutely does, so that when something like coffee, which is very acidic, enters the body, it can deal with its acidic nature before releasing it. So when coffee gets introduced into the body via the rectum, it obviously bypasses this natural buffering mechanism and goes straight into the bloodstream, and the liver gets slammed by it. Now I understand this is the point of coffee enemas for its apparent liver detoxifying properties, but I can't help but wonder how corrosive and stimulating this process is for someone who is highly sensitive. It is also known that coffee is obviously very acidic and can put a lot of stress on the adrenal glands, causing the adrenal glands to release more cortisol, causing extra stress on the body, which is definitely not something we want for someone who is trying to heal chronic illness. So these are just some things to think about. People who I don't recommend do coffee enemas are those with Crohn's disease, inflammatory bowel disease, neurological problems, someone who is highly hypersensitive, someone with a weak nervous system, weak adrenal glands, high blood pressure, or heart, kidney, and respiratory failure. Ultimately, I do not support the concept of pushing the body to deal with more toxins that it may or may not be able to cope with at that time. Some people may be able to handle coffee enemas, and that's completely fine, but some people might not be able to handle them, and those people may benefit from incorporating more gentle detoxifying practices in their life. If you're one of those people that do not respond well to coffee enemas, I suggest just doing enemas with plain, clean filtered water. You can add some freshly squeezed organic lemon juice or other herbs that relate to specific conditions that you might be dealing with. Obviously, this won't be detoxifying the liver in the way that a coffee enema apparently does, but there are many other ways that you can support your liver to detoxify in a much more gentle manner. So if you have tried coffee enemas and you feel great after them and you feel like they're supporting your body in a positive way and you don't experience any of those negative symptoms, then that's great. But if you're one of those people like me who don't respond well to them, I really think it's your body trying to communicate with you that they're not suitable for you at this time on your healing journey. And I really hope that this video helps you to understand why that might be the case, because I know it can be frustrating when heaps of other people around you are practicing a certain thing and it's doing really well for so many other people and not for you, and you're wondering why. So yeah, I hope this video helps you to understand why that might be. So I'd really love to hear your thoughts on coffee enemas. Do you practice them? How do you respond to them? I'd love to hear your experience. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it has helped, and I will see you again soon.